got it.
So do you tend to get unusual items on your 10th Pokestop, or is it just more of the same old?
Uh, Same old but higher quantity.
I think they should really make it so that you can get all items in-game without having to pay coins for it, even if the chance is rare. And that would be a good place to do it. They might do that eventually once the game scales.
Fair warning, I am experimenting with recording right now.
Okay, that's fine. Too late.
Yep.
You gotta stay on that. We're heading to Valley 16.
I tried to get it, but it glitched.
Well, you also weren't in the right screen. You were doing something else. Just remember when the
No, I'm on the same screen.
Well, anyway, we're just gonna go down Valley Street, and you know the drill there. Is your GPS signal seeming to hold up for the most part?
Yeah. I don't know how much longer we got.
I don't know either.
My avatar looks confused.
Perhaps your avatar is. Alright, so let's just do our thing.
Yep, there's one coming up.
There is. There is. There's a couple, and then there's the ones farther down Valley Street. You know the drill. If all goes well, you should get over 100 balls.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention other things. I never even bothered to count that. So unfortunately, because your ball supply is pretty much depleted, you shouldn't have any inventory issues. We'll have to see how it goes, though.
Yeah.
On the way back, try to remind me to stop by CJ's. We'll be in the area, so that shouldn't be a problem. That way you can make a play for their gym as well. So that's how we managed to be there for 2 days.
That was cool.
You may only be able to get 10 coins a day, but you know what? It adds up.
Yeah. It does.
You must be at like 70 coins now or something, huh?
80 coins.
Even better. Alright. Yeah, if you can get one more inventory upgrade, you're probably not going to have any further issues. And you got almost half of what you need for that, so you should be fine. A different kind, but it's the same problem as previous. I think Niantic might have really asked for it by putting the store credit as a result of gym ownership. that was basically asking people to cheat their asses off the control gyms. That's exactly what's happened.
Yeah.
So I wonder how much of that gold, such as it is, was botted.
I don't even want to think about it.
Yeah, I don't either. Because you know as well as I do, with enough coverage, with a combination of GPS spoofers and even bots to fight for you and do all that shit, which I'm sure they have, you could control multiple gyms wherever the fuck you wanted and collect the money for it. You can with a bot, you could control a gym in Sacramento, California.
Yeah, but you could also get banned.
No, I'm not saying you should do it, but I'm saying people can do it. It completely destroys everything about the game, and Niantic should have seen it coming. Because if there is something that people can do that will bend the game to their advantage, it's a guarantee that some people out there will do it. It will happen. You may not know what they're going to do code-wise to make it happen, but you do know they're going to do it, so you need to plan accordingly. They could have dealt with this partly by changing the way the game was designed, but of course, I mean, if people are going to cheat, at least force them to cheat more ways in order to accomplish the same effect.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it makes it easier to detect.
Because if they gotta cheat, you should still make them work their butts off.
Yeah, it also exposes them to more risk of being discovered.
Which would be awesome.
Is this still Valor?
That is still, yep, still Valor.
And probably will remain that way.
Somebody's fighting them, though.
That's cool. So you can now see opposing Pokemon on the outside of the gym with a combat going on.
The thing is, what happens is there's puffs of, like, lightning and smoke.
I see. And if you actually went into the gym, you'd probably see the Pokemon in the distance on the other side.
Yep.
Very interesting. I still think they should have monetized more avatar options. They made a huge mistake in not monetizing that out the door. Huge. Unless, of course, they did and you just didn't tell me. But I haven't seen anybody with any fancy.
I don't know if they're gonna do that in the future
They're morons if
updates.
they should have done that from the get-go. When the game was Still red hot, that should have been something that launched with the product, and they were morons for not doing it. They would have made a lot of money off of that. Really, Niantic didn't know what they were getting themselves into. They were not prepared to properly take advantage of this. It is that simple. Ooh, lightning.
Well, a lot of people think that Niantic had no idea this was gonna be this big.
Which is retarded. I just don't understand. How could anybody who has any knowledge of the gaming industry not see how this would have taken off like a rocket? It betrays sense. I'm used to game designers not having a goddamn clue about anything other than the game design aspect of the game, and sometimes not even that, but I'm not used to them missing something this obvious. This is just extraordinary, and not in a good way. This shouldn't have been difficult. And if their investors forced them to launch, which doesn't seem likely because they weren't even in development for that long as far as I could tell, this just doesn't make any sense. I thought the botching of Firefall was bad, but this is worse. Firefall is basically dead now. I mean, they fired the entire development team, and as far as I can see, they're probably going to take down the game servers at some point. They've admitted that they're going to be using the IP in different ways, and they're acting like they're not going to further pursue the game. As it is, it's a massive disaster, so there's nothing to salvage. Now all eyes that matter are on Mark Kern as he prepares to launch the successor, fully expecting that he will not fuck up like he did the first time, because I just don't see that happening. And we'll just have to go from there.